Hi, this is Abraham Walker with Ask A Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent. This is day 10. I'm holding this camera with a selfie stick, so I'm not able to use both hands. So this is day 10 recap. This is Friday, what day is it? The
27th.
The 27th. That was my lovely assistant, Crystal. Really, she's my partner, so not my assistant. Excellent. So Friday's recap. Friday's numbers: 176 doors knocked, 8 contacts, 3 hours and 37 minutes on the job. The week recap is 501 doors, 62 contacts, 14 hours and 33 minutes of door knocking or canvassing. The reason why the contact to doors knocked ratio is so low is because on midday Thursday and all of today was really more about presenting our marketing materials, because our goal is to do more of a jab hook process. So if you're familiar with Gary Vaynerchuk, you know the idea is to present value, then ask for the sale, right? Present value, then ask for the sale, right? So that's our goal. And so we wanted to make sure, first of all, the individuals had our marketing piece, because this is the last week in May. Now we can move to June, which will then be a new marketing piece, and then we'll continue providing value, and then we'll ask for the business, right? Excellent. So let's get into a couple thoughts. There was a Facebook comment that stated something about I made a comment about me having to do a certain number of doors to earn a 3-day weekend, and the question was, did you earn a 3-day weekend? This individual, who will remain nameless, said that everyone deserves a 3-day weekend, and you should stop bragging. You know, that there should be some humility in your post. So I want to address a couple things. It'll probably go backwards instead of forwards. Humility, bragging. If you feel like this is bragging or humility, or me not showing humility, then I don't really know what else to do. This is my style. If anyone knows me, and if you really know me, you know that this is essentially how I roll, right? Our goal is to put up big numbers, right? To execute, and then to talk about what we executed and to celebrate that execution. That's it. That's not really humility or bragging. It's really just, hey, this is what I'm going to do. Hey, this is what I did. What did you do? What's going on with you, right? And let's see. So that's that. Oh, now let's talk about the deeper subject, which is did you earn your right to a 3-day weekend, right? 3-day weekends are not for everybody, like especially for poor people. If you think about it, you have to earn vacations. You can't just assume that you're going to get a vacation. That's not how life works. We just finished going to my son's Taekwondo belt. What is it called? Belt testing, right? And Abraham didn't know some of his lines. He didn't know some of his moves. His language, and he shouldn't just get passed on because he's living. Like, that's not how it works. That's not how life works. Like, you have to do something for you to receive the reward. That's it. That's how it works, right? People who receive the biggest awards, statistically, not everybody, all right? Not everybody. Statistically, people who do the work, right? They receive the reward, right? So my philosophy, my theory is that if you do the work, you're going to receive the reward. And the reason why I'm documenting what I'm doing from this startup position is because oftentimes you see mega agents or millionaire real estate agents or people that are very wealthy with real estate. You see them on the podium after they've achieved their success. You never hear about the climb. So right now we're going to hear about the climb because this is a strategic bet that this is going to get us to the outcome, right? And what better way, right, to start off a progress than to document it? Most people that are very successful wish they would have documented it while they were going through the process. Well, I'm going to learn from others and I'm going to document while I'm doing it. And it's going to be a glorious battle. I love this battle, right? And I'm really digging the fact that it was 90 degrees. I was knocking on doors, and there was no one outside knocking on doors. That's not bragging. That's just the fact that I'm going to do what other people won't do. So then that means I'm going to live a life that other people dream about. That's just going to be amazing. Also, the Walker boys will be able to witness that when Dad says, hey, you could be whatever you want if you put in the work. Right? Not Daddy's not going to take care of you. If you put in the work, you can be whatever you want to be. Excellent. So now let's put some other ground rules in place. Or not ground rules, just some other ideas or philosophies in place, right? So Stephen Covey wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. He's one of my mentors. I was saddened when I found out he was dead. Isn't that funny? Like, I didn't even know he was dead. I was reading his stuff and listened to it, and I was like, oh my goodness, I got to meet this guy. Then I found out he was dead. And, I was saddened. So Stephen Covey, he's like in my top 3 people of greatest people that I'm mentoring right now. So I would put Jesus as number 1. Then I would put him and Gary Keller as 2 and 3, right? You got that? So Jesus number 1, because Jesus was a great storyteller. He was the best recruiter in the world. I mean, that guy, talk about somebody that could recruit people to a vision, right? And then Gary Keller or Stephen Covey are 1 and 2. So this session or this series is really not designed for everyone, right? So if you're the type of person that wakes up and believes that something is supposed to happen because you're alive, then this series or my philosophies won't resonate with you, and I really don't want to be around you to begin with. Excellent. Now that we said that, if you have the 7 habits of highly effective people, you could turn to page 278. So get your book out, turn to page 278. And there's a story in there I want to read to the people who do not have the book, right? And so the story goes, once upon a time, and this is called the Animal School, written by educator Dr. R.H. Reeves, right? So it says, once upon a time, the animals decided they must do something heroic to meet the problems of a new world. So they organized a school. They adopted an activity, a curriculum consisting of running, climbing, swimming, and flying. To make it easier to administer, all animals took all the subjects. The duck was excellent in swimming, better in fact than his instructor, and made excellent grades in flying. But he was very poor in running. Since he was low in running, he had to stay after school and drop swimming to practice running. This was kept up until his webbed feet were badly worn and he was only average in swimming. But average was acceptable in school. So nobody worried about that except the duck. The rabbit started at the top of the class in running, but had a nervous breakdown because of so much makeup in swimming. The squirrel was excellent at climbing until he developed frustrations in the flying class, where his teacher made him start from the ground up instead of from the treetop down. He also developed Charlie horses from overexertion, and he got a C in climbing and a D in running. The eagle was a problem child and had to be disciplined severely. In climbing class, he beat all the others to the top of the tree, but insisted on his own way of getting there. At the end of the year, an abnormal eel that could swim exceedingly well and also could run, climb, and fly a little had the highest average and was valedictorian. The prairie dog stayed out of school and fought the tax levy because the administration would not add digging and burrowing to the curriculum. They apprenticed their children to the badger and later joined the groundhogs and gophers to start a successful private school. I read that to say that this post is really for a particular type of person, right? This is to also find people who are those individuals. So if you don't resonate with the material, if you don't resonate with the post, I understand, right? Some of us are eagles, some of us are prairie dogs, some of us are rabbits, some of us are ducks. Like it's not a negative thing, right? It's just that different strokes for different folks, right? And if you went to high school, you know they had people on the football team, basketball team, baseball team, chess club, tennis club, golf club, all this other stuff, right? There's different strokes for different people. This is just a different type of material, right? So, tell me your thoughts about that story. I'd love to hear your point of view. And I'm open to change, right? Like my philosophies are developing. I speak very. My wife, what does my wife call it? I'm gonna have to get her on here and talk to her about like what it is, like how do I speak? Because I speak in terms like I express myself with my words, and I get energy from expressing myself with words. And at the same time, I'm also developing my opinions about what I said, because in my head, I'm right, and me are both, we're on track, right? We're right. It's not until I get it out I was like, oh, you know what? I don't think that makes sense. So tell me your thoughts about that story. If you like Stephen Covey, you're going to hear more and more and more and more and more and more conversations about his work in the future. And I did not earn my 3-day weekend. So tomorrow I'll be door knocking. Just a brief. I missed out on 7 houses because one of the areas we're targeting has no trespassing or no soliciting. No solicitation. No trespassing. And in my area, it's a misdemeanor if you're caught soliciting in an area that's no soliciting or trespassing. And I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to feel handcuffs on my wrist. So I won't be doing that. And if you made it this far in the video, you'll realize that I am not keeping these videos to the conventional 3-minute. They say that most individuals' attention spans are short, so you should keep your videos to 3 minutes to kind of keep the individual's attention, right? Because they have such short attention spans. Well, I'm not really catering to those types of individuals, right? If you have a short attention span, this isn't going to work for you. This is not a commercial. This is just me recording what I'm doing. And then I have ideas and thoughts, and I want to hear about what your ideas and thoughts are about my ideas and thoughts. So yeah, so tomorrow I'll get a haircut, then I'll go door knocking, and then I'll have the rest of the weekend. So I'm looking forward to week 3, right? So next week is week 3. We'll have some new marketing pieces that we'll be distributing, and I'm pretty excited about it. This is going very well. It looks like we may have our first appointment from door knocking, and yeah, so that's 2 weeks. That's amazing. This is going to be an amazing ride. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm looking forward to you joining me on this journey. So my name is Abraham Walker. I'm with Ask A Walker, your Northern Virginia real estate agent. My cell phone number is 703-539-2053. That's 703-539-2053. My email address is abraham@askawalker.com. That's abraham@askawalker.com. And I'll see you next week. Peace.